Hello everybody, great to be with you. This is going to be a good video, a really good one. And as serendipity would have it, synchronism, I made a video a couple of days about Stonehenge formerly having been a square or rectangular structure. One subscriber didn't like it. She or he said they were unsubscribing. I helped them along their way by deleting their comment. But immediately the same day, articles popped up from researchers in the news stating that geophysics has proven that there was a square building inside Avebury. And I'll get to why Stonehenge, I'm going to re-explain why Stonehenge was a square rectangular building in a second. I just want to talk about this phenomenon of discoveries happening at the same time. What happens is, either it's a projection theory or something, it's like information reaches us at the same time. It's so bizarre. You know, nylon, New York, London. It was discovered at the same time. They shared the name. If this is the source of projection, for argument's sake, it's emitting light or information, and two different streams of light reach the same area at the same time, but in different locations. And this is why the information reaches one area at the same time, or simply information needs to be congruent before it is able to be accepted by the human imagination en masse, or something like that. But anyway, that's another story. The picture which is so important is this one here, revealed to the world because Robert Temple decided to look in an old book called Hill of Graces. If this book had been called Megaliths in Africa or something like that, everyone would have known about it. But no Stonehenge writer has known about this for over 100 years ago, and as a result their books are wrong. It looks like Geoffrey of Monmouth was correct. Stonehenge was in fact built by giants from Africa, as he claimed in the Middle Ages, because here is a megalithic group at Mesa in the Cyrenaica. And I basically took a photo from this book. It's in the State Library in Melbourne. You can find it in your state libraries, or it's actually online as well. And look, it's the same build as a Stonehenge, but it's a rectangle of some sort, and it's hard to see what's happening because this is the only surviving picture, and it looks like the monument's probably gone, I'm afraid. Sorry to report, you know, because there's no mention of it anywhere since this time. And look, it was a square, it was a rectangle, and look, many buildings are rectangle. It's no surprise, and I'm suggesting, look, they probably built a rectangular structure, and then people from Asia rearranged it, because Asia is the source of the circular temples. And there would have been more before Gautama Buddha. I think these were all for an earlier Buddha, Bud, the god Bud, the earth god essentially. So this is a mound, and the earth god is inside, almost like a kind of Loki, but that's another story as well. So what's happening here? It appears that people from Asia, possibly the Aryans, 2000 BC, about the time they reached India, they also reached Britain, and they said, what's this ugly rectangular monument doing here? And they rearranged it into a circular monument. And it looks so higgledy-piggledy, so messy, that you can see that the people who designed it according to an astronomical fashion, they were not as interested in what it looked like. It's as if they didn't carve the stones. And it's so weird. And on another side note, look at this here. This is Beaker cultures, 4000 BC. Don't the cultures fit modern countries? That looks like Germany. That looks like Denmark. So Germany, Poland, and this is the Balkans. It was Balkanized even back then. Unbelievable, unbelievable. Here was a kind of almost Roman quote-unquote empire in 4000 BC. I think this was the Etruscan Empire. The Etruscans had a naval empire which the Phoenicians inherited after the Carthaginians helped wipe out the Etruscans. Here was Atlantis, the kings of Atlantis. So there was an island somewhere here which sank, and that was Atlantis. But Atlantis is also confused with the territories they owned, which were bigger than Africa and Asia. And it's all the same culture. So all these cultures built stone circles. These cultures built square buildings. People coming from Asia reached Britain, and then they were cut off by these people who built square buildings everywhere. Greek temples, square. Egyptian temples, square. Italian temples, square. So this was another culture, the square temple culture versus the round temple culture. And that could be one origin for the Atlantis War. And they were just in competition. These people getting metal from America, and these people buying it, and they're saying, look, your price is too high, we're going to war. And they said, fine, we'll have a war. And then bang, the floods hit and Atlantis sank. And hence these guys, remember that these guys were really greedy about their metal from Lake Superior or wherever the hell they got it from. And there's another thing about that square building. In Avebury, I'm talking about so many topics in this. Geophysics, it's amazing. If there is a magnetic disturbance in the ground, they are able to see if that means it's been disturbed, and that's how they found that square building in Avebury. Look like the stones of Sacsayhuaman. And she's got a point. They do. They look very similar. What are all these cuts for? It's as if they were meant to fit in a kind of wall. So could they have fit into a sort of wall, an Inca-like wall in Britain in early times, and then it was broken up into a stone circle by later peoples because they said the rectangular building is earlier than the square buildings. I think all these round houses were built by Aryans from the east, basically. I think I said everything, guys. Thank you very much.